few minutes later, I was swept up to the surface and held onto a stone pillar. At that moment, I suddenly saw my mom not far away. She had been washed over. Then, we both grabbed onto a fallen coconut tree, floating together on the surface of the sea. All around us was nothing but water, and the wreckage destroyed by the waves. After resting for a while, Mom took me to look for a safe place. I walked behind her, wound on her bare chest. I trembled all over and shyly turned away to remind her. Mom tied up her broken strap to cover the wound on her chest, then simply bandaged the wound on her leg. After she finished bandaging herself, we kept moving forward. Just then, we heard a strange child crying for help. I didn't want to help. All I wanted was to take my bleeding mother and get away as soon as possible. But my kind mom stopped in her tracks.
What if that boy was Simon or Thomas? What if they needed help? You'd want someone to help them, wouldn't you?
Simon and Thomas are dead!
Even if it's the last thing you do.
We followed the sound of the cries and found a blonde boy covered with straw. His name was Jack. I carried Jack on my back, and with Mum, we came to a big tree. Then I climbed up the tree with Jack. When I was about to climb back down to help Mom, she stopped me firmly. I knew she didn't want to be my burden, but the wound on her right leg was too serious. She just couldn't climb up by herself. It was the first time I had ever seen Mom look so helpless. I slowly climbed down, crossed my hands, and let her step on them to climb up. With my efforts, Mom finally managed to climb up. From the top of the tree, I looked out. What used to be a beautiful island had turned into a massive graveyard of the apocalypse. We stayed in that tree for who knows how long. Thankfully, the tsunami didn't return, and finally, rescuers came. We lifted Mom together and carried her to the village, then used a car to take her to the hospital. On the way there, I kept seeing people collapsing after losing their loved ones, and countless bodies being transported away. Before long, we arrived at the hospital. The news was broadcasting the horror of the tsunami. An old man had already found a temporary ward for my mom. He showed me which room she was in, then left without looking back. Following his directions, I found Mom. Her face had turned pale blue. Her wound was already infected. Just then, 2 doctors came. They moved quickly. One gave her antibiotics, the other cleaned her wound. I couldn't bear to watch Mom being treated, so I turned away and waited silently. After the quick treatment, the nurse moved Mom to a ward to wait for surgery. Mom asked me to check if her leg had turned black.
It's still red. What does that mean?
It's good. As long as it doesn't turn black.
Then we heard a man shouting out the names of his family. Mom told me to do whatever I could to help others.
You got to go and do something.
Go and help people. You're good at it.
What do you want me to do?
Something.
Will you be alright?
Come on, Lucas. I'm not going anywhere.
I promise.
After she promised she'd be okay, I got up and left. Most people here had lost their families. I wrote down their names in a notebook and asked around one by one. I searched through the whole hospital. Finally, I found a boy who had been separated from his father. Then I ran as fast as I could back to tell the father the good news. Through the window, I saw them hug tightly. A smile appeared on my face. But in that moment, I thought of Dad and my brothers. I still had no idea where they were. I ran back to the ward. I threw my arms around her and cried. After that, I stayed by her side. Then I suddenly saw the little boy I'd saved, Jack. I followed him into the next ward. He was smiling happily in his father's arms. At that moment, I looked at her leg, now darkened but lied, and told her it was still red.
It's still red.
She said they'd arranged the surgery right away. Before the operation, I drew the curtain, then went to get Mum some water. While I was getting it, I suddenly saw a man who looked just like Dad. I ran through the hospital as fast as I could. When I reached the street, the man was...
Lucas! Dad!